Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday edition of the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Dan Labbe with Mary Kay Cabot and Ashley Bastock, and we are going to talk coordinators today. Of course, the Browns made the hire of Bubba Ventrone official. Mary Kay, just let's start here. What do you remember about old Bubba when he was running down the field playing special teams for the Browns? And did you think, now I don't know how much you guys talked to him back then, but did you think this guy was like not just coordinator, but maybe future head coach then at the time? Was that even something to consider?
No, I don't think you really look at, a special teams ace and think, head coach material. I mean, usually, that thought doesn't really cross your mind. But I will say that what I remember about Bubba back then is, he was one of Eric Mangini's green sticker guys. And back then, green sticker meant something different than it does now. Now we talk about it in terms of the dot on the helmet. That means you're calling plays for the defense. But back then, when Eric Mangini talked about his green sticker guys, and the Browns have a different name for theirs, but it's guys that just have almost flawless character. They are just like such amazing guys that you just pop that green sticker up there on the draft board. And you know that you're not going to have anything to worry about. He was a really good leader. He was one of our go-to guys, one of the guys that you talk to a lot at his locker and after games to help explain things and illuminate things. And, you just knew that he was a really, really good guy and that he would be successful in whatever he does. And he was personable and affable and all those things. So I think he's going to bring an energy. I think he's going to bring some passion. I think that's what you need on special teams. You need somebody to get everybody fired up. And I think he's going to help do that. I think even if you just look at some of his pictures from back when he was with the Browns, you just see the facial expressions, you see the energy, and I think that's what he brings.
I am a little disappointed that the hair is gone. Like, it's just those pictures have the hair flying everywhere, and it's great. Ashley, I mean, look, the special teams coordinator a lot of times is the loudest guy on the practice field, and Ray Ventrone is certainly going to be that, I would imagine, for this team. But, this does sort of feel like a new special teams era for the Browns. And maybe that was just because Mike Prefer was here for so long. He spanned two head coaches. But this just feels like, okay, this was the guy they really wanted, and they went and got him.
Yeah, and like Mary Kay has written since this hire, in the annual special teams rankings from Rick Gosselin, the longtime NFL writer, like his teams have been in the top 5, I think, four times out of his 5 years as special teams coordinator with the Colts. So I think this is a guy who you look at everything we know about him and his personality and how fiery he can be and motivated he can be. And it might just be like kind of the breath of fresh air that the Browns need when you consider what some of their problems have been in recent years, right? Like the kick return game has been horrible. Like they've done dumb things like not having the right number of people on the field, not being able to recover onside kicks was a problem this year. So I think just a guy with a new perspective who kind of can be that motivator, who can help Cade York develop further and maybe get past some of those mental blocks that he dealt with as a young kicker. Like, I think all those things are huge and point to this unit going in a different direction than it's been in under Mike Prefer the last 4 years.
Now, Mary Kay, one of the things we know about Bubba, and you tweeted this, you've written it, he wants to be a head coach. I actually almost wonder, and I don't know if he'll answer this when we do finally get a chance to talk to him, I almost wonder if one of the reasons he's here is because if this is like a domino effect of the Jeff Saturday hire, right? Like, because he was a guy that maybe could have been the interim there, but he's one of the guys that got passed over and probably created some hard feelings for a few guys in that building. But if that's the case, that's the Browns' fortune. What is it about Ventrone that you think, how important is it, I guess? Let's ask it this way. How important is it for Kevin to have another guy in that building? And we'll talk about Jim Schwartz a little bit too. Another guy in that building who he hasn't been a head coach, but he's got those traits and he aspires to be a head coach.
Well, I think, first of all, it should be noted, and, we had this at cleveland.com today before anybody else, that he has also been given the title of assistant head coach. And I think that's pretty significant. Now, more so than anything, it was a way to get him here, right? Because if they did not give him that, then chances are the Colts would have been able to either keep him or keep him from interviewing here in the first place. So he does have that title of assistant head coach. And I do think it's good to have people like that on the staff. I think it's good to have diversity of thought and of everything else on a staff anyways. But I do think it is good to have somebody that thinks like that and that is going to be, I think, taking his role as assistant head coach a little bit more seriously than maybe even the Browns intend it right now. I think he's going to be thinking, like, what would I do in this situation? Or how might I handle this? Or maybe even offering suggestions to Kevin Stefanski on things that he sees or would do differently. So I think it's good. I think you've got somebody on the staff that's really hungry and really wants to improve his lot. And so they've got a mix. They've got guys that are sort of, winding it down and on the back nine of their career, more so like a Jim Schwartz, maybe more so like even Bill Callahan, perhaps. And then now you've got some young, energetic guys that bring different perspectives. So I think it's very helpful.
Yeah, Ashley, how important do you think those traits are?